All right, guys, that last trough we just moved over here. We've now officially got 6. We're increasing their feed consumption. Yeah, that's kind of the update. So we're gonna actually be giving 6 buckets 4 times a week now is what we're gonna be doing. So it's gonna be about 4 pounds a day, I should say. Anyway, so we're increasing that. Charlotte's coming through and we will get that done. And then we're off to a project to start for the farrowing barn for our little piglets. All right, guys, welcome back to Blackacre Ranch. We're here to work on this farrowing barn. That's the project at play today. Steve, I think you were mentioning that we're probably about 4 weeks now, about 3 weeks away from these pigs having their first litter. Is that what you call them? Anyway, the pigs are obviously huddled behind the building. So we're cleaning up this place and Mari's going to get everything all kind of grassed down. And my wife is cutting down some of the shrubbery that's kind of around this building. Task at hand right now, I think today what we may just, our goal is to strip this sucker down to studs. And we'll kind of go through some details about what our plan is, why this location, everything. So if you're looking to do a farrowing barn, or should you do a farrowing barn, we'll kind of share with you why we're doing this and why it's located where it is, what considerations to have when doing a farrowing barn. So we'll kind of cover those things, and yeah, so stick with us. Let's get cracking. Okay, we got some clipping done, we got some weed whacking done, we've kind of got some area cleared out. We've got the trailer here for some debris because we're gonna be stripping this down like I said. So what do you consider when setting up a farrowing barn? You have to realize there's multiple ways to do farrowing of piglets. People do farrowing out in the pastures, they do them in structures, people have hog facilities where they do mass bulk hogs. I mean, there's all sorts of different things, okay? So whenever you read or listen to like my video, somebody else's video, just realize there's different ways to do it and some considerations may need to be had as it fits to your kind of situation. So anyway, we have been doing these red wattle pigs here on property, kind of in pasture. Now, I would say it's more like wooded space, garbage space, just space in general. Let's see if we can get a look at some of these pigs. And right now they're just sitting all over here. You can see our little girls over there. And they've kind of had the run of the roost. It's kind of a place that the buffalo really wouldn't be getting a lot of grass. I can't really mow, stuff of that nature. So that is kind of why they're here, partly. Okay, so when you're looking for a farrowing place, where do you want to farrow them at? If you're out in pasture, well, you're gonna farrow them in pasture, and then this kind of doesn't make a difference, right? First of all, with the pigs, I think out of sight, out of mind is kind of the predominant thing that I fear. I thought about putting the pigs way down the hill on the backside, underneath all of those 2.5 acres out there. I'm just never gonna see them, right? So I didn't want to put the pigs there. We have a compound up here where we have the big barn, we've got the well house, the pavilion, we've got 3 slabs, 18,000 square feet of concrete from here and also over there. So we could put it on maybe one of these slabs or inside this little area between all the buildings, but I don't want to smell them. So I need the pigs. In my personal opinion, why we're putting them here is they're far enough away not to stink, and they're not too far away that I forget about them. Also, another plus that we have is we had this well house, tank house, whatever you want to call it, structure here. And this is where that 3,000 gallon water tank for the pressure tank was. We got that out of there, moved it out, and we thought, you know, this would be an ideal place to maybe do some pigs. So we had set the pigs up all over here, and that's why we're here. So our task today is really to fix this thing up and get it torn down and make this our little farrowing barn. I could just stick little structures inside their little pen over here, and they could just nest in them, you know, 3 walls and a side. You know, people do all sorts of things, man. They're just pigs. Just know they're going to destroy whatever it is that you put up. We're going to try and make it a little nicer and make use of the structure. So that's why we're going to do that. So location is the first thing, guys. Location, 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 just like real estate. Find something you're comfortable with if you're out way on pastures, and put it on pasture, just a mobile little shelter or whatever you want. If you're kind of close to home in a smaller area, maybe you look to do something a little closer to home, okay? You don't have to build that to do it, okay? There are other ways. All right, while we're at it, let me just tell you number 2, and I'm gonna call that utilities, okay? water, electric. Those are the main two that you need. This little well house has water and it does have electric outlets. So this is actually close enough to get water to the barn or through waterers here. We also have a waterer down the hill about at the end of their fence over there. So we have water that's accessible over here. Now I do have water way down the hill over there, but I don't have the chance to do electric. So think to yourself, utilities. What kind of operation do you have? Now how do I get utilities, and if I need those utilities? Water is always a great option to have. We could collect it off of a rainwater off of a structure, stuff like that. I don't find that super reliable, and depending on where you live and how much rain you get, it may not be good enough. So take those things into consideration. Electric. You may be saying, Jeff, why do you need electric? Well, electric is useful maybe in winter time. If you happen to have a farrowing in winter, you can put a heat lamp. You can even do it in the summer if you really want. It's something to help the babies not get crushed by their moms. Maybe they go to a little creep area or a shared little baby area, if you want to call it like that, piglet area where they can get warmth and not have to be so close to their mom and potentially get squished. So there's heat lamps, which you might want. And if you do stuff at night or other things, you want to see them, maybe have some light bulbs, things like that. It's never a bad idea to have electric around if you can do it. This is why we're going to be up here. This is why I'm not closer to all the other buildings, but this is location. So remember, location, where you want it in relation to everything else, make sure it's easy access, you can get to it. And then 2, utilities, do you have utilities? The third thing I will just kind of mention in passing before I get to the fourth and last thing is fencing. So you just got to decide if you're just going to keep the same kind of fencing you've had or not. Now, I will bring this up because I've seen people farrow differently. If somebody's on a pasture kind of setup, they may have just 2 strands of hot wire and they go around and they just have that there. And for adult pigs, it keeps them out or from escaping. Okay, they learn what a hot wire is and they respect it. Piglets don't. You can have your sow or your mom in here and have the piglets be able to escape and go around because they always come back to their mom typically. So I've seen people farrow in pasture and not change their fence from what they originally had. So you don't have to have a woven wire everywhere. You can do it with just an electric fencing, okay? Our case here, we're not really set up that way yet. We already have some of this woven wire, so we're gonna continue using this and set this up a little bit different. So just keep that in mind. All right, so enough chat and let's get to work. We're gonna be working in 2 groups here. We're gonna do a demo group and then a fence building group. So we're gonna kind of get this tag team style. First problem is we got some pigs that need to move. Huh, Hagrid, huh? We need you to move, dude. I'm sorry. Girlfriends, oh, my bad, this is a chick. That's Hagrid, all the way over there. So they have a nice sandy spot. We need them to move that side of the concrete. So we've got some stuff that we're gonna bait them with, pumpkin. We've got ourselves some grapes and she's gonna go inside. Luckily, she's the individual, right? Hagrid gets a little antsy and, not antsy, but just aggressive at times. So she's gonna go in there, try and get them away long enough. We need to have actually everything ready. T-post pounder, my wife's been moving over some T-posts. And you can see this cattle panel, hog panel, whatever panel we got over here. So anyway, enough chatting, let's start working. Bait machine, and then we need to drive some T-posts to kind of keep them off of us. In the meantime, I'm just gonna be stripping these walls of all the board and batten. So I think we could get this done within a half hour. I should hope so, right? All right, so Charlotte, you're gonna start putting T-posts in, correct?
Yep.
T-posts are all over here. She's gonna start doing it. She's not gonna get super perfect, angular, 90 degrees, not 89 degrees. No, it doesn't matter, man. Just put the posts in the ground and run along. We may be able to reuse some of those posts. If not, we don't. So our goal is to actually keep this wood. Use it, but it's so dry rotted. And it's been splitting in a number of spots. The bottom's all worn out. So that leaves us with the option of, do we do steel or do we put up something like a new boards? just go get some 1-bys and put it on up. So, not sure. So these were actually splitting before I was kicking them, guys. But they already have predispositioned to no good. So we're just gonna have to get rid of them. I'm gonna need to get a dumpster. We're gonna load all this trash into the trailer, get a dumpster hopefully this weekend, and put everything in it, if I can get them to deliver it in time.
Another teapot.
So we are going to fill in this wall here and make it a solid stud. So we may have to come back and cut some of these. Right now we're not going to worry about it too much, because ultimately we just need to close this area off from the pigs, and then we can have free reign to start busting out this side over here. So Dog and I made quick work, got everything off. We're going to have to take all this felt paper off, and what our plan is, we're going to put sidewalls up to this 4-foot spot right here. So it will be plenty of ventilation, and then we may even put some headers to open up more big windows. But another time, another day. Ooh, big spider. Stop. Looks like we got some pig problems. Just a few. All right. Is 16 feet gonna extend past that? Yep. All right, we're on the back side of the building now. I'm gonna fill you in on what we're doing, and the camera's been overheating. It's been hard to actually get some footage. So where you see Bugs sitting right there and the girls, that's the old line we just did. We put a little pallet gate, and then we're gonna come this way with a 16-footer. The pigs have now moved from here over into here because it just got too hot and not enough shade. We want to make sure that when we open this up, we don't want the pigs to be able to get out. So we are probably, I think, going to just remove every T-post, leave it attached to the woven wire, and then push it inside and run it like that. So we're just going to go in and go like that with it, and then we'll continue on with the rest of this coming this way and block it off with the woven wire there. So that's kind of the idea. So let's get these T-posts moved and see if this whole one sheet movement will work or if it won't. The dance. The dance.
All right, just a little further.
Our goal is to take this all the way to the second T-post over there, but we're not gonna do that right now because that means we have to pull all these out. So we'll do that another day, but we're gonna take the excess, drive this guy in and come back, making an alleyway here. So we'll pull from the corner there and just tie him up over there so that way the pigs can stay content. Also, the waterer and the feeder are already set up here. We're just gonna not mess with that today. So this is a stopgap solution, but it'll allow us the space to be able to get everything else put together. Dog. All right, that sucker's smoking, getting a little hot. All right, so you connect this guy up, and then we can just get right back to this.
Well, we're back at the pig pen. Time to finish this thing up. At least get those ladies separated. They're ready to have some piglets. So before I even started today, I brought the tractor over and I bucketed some extra dirt and filled in. Actually, the elders are here, they're missionaries, and they helped fill in the foundation. Obviously, like I could, it's still kind of sloped here and flat here, so plenty more buckets would help, but I think it'll be a little bit before they just wear it away again. So we've got that panel from last time, this panel. This may be a mid-gate, I'm not sure, but we just put up this panel. So Mari's T-clipping over here, and then we're gonna put our gate right here for this pen to get out to the sidewalk. And then we're gonna start another panel this direction, which is right there. And then we'll connect up to these panels to the side of the building. So pretty soon we'll have this all pastured in. Meanwhile, we have elders over here taking nails out of boards. Such a fun job. They're such good sports. So those boards are gonna come inside right here and be the interior support of this wall so the pigs don't rub up on these 2x4s. Once we get this wall that's exposed, all supported, then we'll demo down that wall to do the same thing. So they probably have a good stack ready for me, don't you? 4 boards. This is slow going, guys. Those nails are evil. I know, I've taken quite a few out myself. Now I'm all enclosed. I just got some T-clips to do and a mid-line to do to keep the ladies apart. But at least this point we can get them over here once we have this guy closed in.
Something to think about is you don't want sows breeding next to each other, so we're going to actually separate this into 2 compartments. And that's the 4th thing to consider is the layout. If they were just, you know, kind of just think of it this way. Sows are like women in kitchens. Just too many cooks in the kitchen, right? You have problems that way. Sows don't farrow next to each other. They don't just buddy up and have babies right there, okay? So they do want a little bit of space between them. So we're going to actually separate this out into 2 different spots. And we're going to divide this right down the middle, probably around here. And one will have one side and it'll be split in their run out there, and the other one will have one to go out this way. So they'll be divided. We're going to kind of ventilate this a little bit better. I'll kind of go into more details about how that's going to be done. But we're going to get a lot more ventilation through here and kind of make this a lot better. So those are the 4 considerations for having farrowing, I guess. You know, there's different structures, guys. A-frame structures, hoop structures, all sorts of portable stuff that are out there. And we could do that. We could just go do that, throw a line across this, split this guy up in 2, and have the 2 women on one side and the guy on the other side. I don't know, maybe we'll do that. You never know, right? Depends on how long it takes us to get this done. We're gonna have 2 separate runs. This will be the first run, and it'll come to about here. And so the pig will have this area all in this spot. Now, there is a lot of sun here, guys, and this is their only spot, and I know that we need to give them some shade. So we'll build onto this thing, get some shade structures over this, make it a little bit nicer of a thing. This isn't done yet. Those will be in future episodes, but we'll probably put, I imagine, a gate here, actually, instead of down on the far side. But there'll be a doorway there and a doorway in the middle that they can come out. This one will have this run. This will be a little bit bigger, and much like the other one, they need shade. So we'll get a shade structure out here as well. But you know, it's not a huge run. The part that I don't like about this whole thing is that we'll probably have to clean out the building. You know, kind of scrape out all the poo, put some shavings or some hay in there. I'd like him to have more pigginess room in here than this, but it is what it is. So actually, she just got up. Let's go check her out. Tell you what, she's hanging pretty darn low. You know, really, I want to have this whole structure done before she gives birth. And look at the other girlfriend. You know what, guys? I don't know if we're going to make it. I really don't. And this might just be something where they're going to have babies or they're going to have their little piglets before we're ready. And if that happens, we might end up just moving Hogrid into this new building and leaving these 2 out here. These girls are getting big. Yeah, they are. So we're going to have to play it by ear, guys. Our hopes are that we're going to have it done. Now, Bug, can you tell us which one is which again? There's a red one and there's an oranger one, right?
Ariana.
That's Ariana.
And that is Harriet.
Harriet. Okay, so this is all like Hagrid or Hagrid. This is all Hogwarts. This is our baby Hogwarts out here, where we have all of our little piggies. So we're building it up bit by bit, and that's kind of the story, guys. So this is an update on the pigs, and maybe some things to think about when you're actually doing farrowing and some other things. But, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and I hope we're going to get there in time, which I don't know if we're going to make it. So guys, put down below if you think we're gonna make it in time or if you think we're not. I'm tempted to say that we're not. So anyway, we're gonna leave it here, guys. Appreciate you joining along. We wish we could have gotten you more footage of all this, but like I said before, camera just overheated, things were going, and we just had to get done, and it was hot. It's hot today. It's been a hot summer. We'll keep you updated on the progress and hopefully catch you some more video. Now that we've got the fence all built out, the pen area, now we can remove all of this wood over here and then start building this out internally. So on that note, with the little pigs eating, we're gonna say goodbye to them, and hopefully the next time we talk to you, we don't have piglets, because if it is, we didn't meet the date. So we'll talk to you guys next time. Like and subscribe, guys. Bye.